Greetings all, this is Ignis Leonis, and as promised, I am bringing something other than a Matilda match. This is in the British Tree Covenanter. It is a British light tank, I believe, and it is probably one of my least favorite tanks. There really isn't much that I like about this tank at all, other than it's fairly maneuverable. It's pretty quick in a straight line. Not the best turn rate. The gun is kind of lackluster. There's kind of two top guns on this, the 2-pounder that I have, and then there's also a pom-pom that has the same damage but not as good penetration. So yeah, it's got a boost in rate of fire, but chances are you're not going to penetrate with it, as I've found. So that's why I go with the 2-pounder, so at least I can penetrate and do something with what I've got. The armor isn't worth talking about. It's non-existent for all intents and purposes, so it really is kind of a scout. So you really have to use the terrain to your advantage and try and find all the little nooks and crannies to duck into and find cover, and hopefully you'll be alright. So in this round I actually did fairly well. I survived, which is rare for me in this tank. As you can see, it kind of got hot and heavy right off the bat, and I was able to take out the enemy scout. I was expecting some heat like right off the bat, but nothing kind of panned out after that, and it was just a matter of keeping moving and finding cover for the rest of the match. And that's a German heavy tank that's down there. So really I'm just trying to find cover but spot when I can, and keep the enemy team guessing and kind of off balance. As far as scouting goes, I like to, get into the action and at least do something with my gun. They put it on my tank for a reason. So scouts, I just kind of sit back and only rely on spotting instead of actually trying to do damage. No, that's not me. I'm going to get in there and try and do a couple of swings and do something. So just helped take out a Panzer IV medium tank, and then spotted a couple of other mediums out in the distance there. But both at this distance, my gun is not going to do anything towards them. So I'm really just trying to get their attention on me so that they can waste a couple of rounds on me. As luckily this tank is very, very flat. So it's a tough target to hit. And turn around and there's a French heavy coming up right behind me. So just put a couple of rounds into him while a shot came from way out there. I'm assuming it's that tank destroyer that just got toasted. I couldn't really find anyone else that was responsible. Just couldn't seem to get the angle on this guy. Had 3 bounces on him, but at least I got him once. Keep him moving and keep him guessing as to where his cover is going to be found. And I've got a teammate heavy down along the beach there that he eventually buys it. I'm going to come down here and take out this enemy scout tank, and I do something there. I bounced a shot. I've never bounced a shot in this tank. I was surprised. But I was taking hits on the front, so I'm backing up, trying to find cover behind this enemy dead heavy. And there's still another enemy heavy down there. I believe that's the German heavy that we saw earlier. And again, this tank is fairly maneuverable, so I can get into and out of trouble fairly quick. But you got to stay ahead of them. So here I'm just going to loop around, try and help out that Churchill that seems to be fighting the 2 heavy tanks on the other side. He takes out the KV-1. It still has a fair chunk of life left, so we all kind of head towards that one last heavy that's left behind. We've got a pair of tank destroyers over by their flag that have already started the counter. So really just kind of zero in on this heavy tank wherever he might be. Oh, it looks like somebody already took him out. And the only thing left is a T25 medium, which he gets taken out there. And that was the match. So, really strange match. Normally, like I said, I do very poorly in this tank. It's just not built for the kind of style that I play. But that being said, it is fairly maneuverable, as you saw. Its view range isn't that great without any assistance, like binoculars or optics. Those would definitely be tools that I don't have installed that would come in handy, but I really don't plan on spending much time in this tank, so I'm not going to spend much money. So that's my battle with the Covenanter. Please feel free to comment. Have a great time.